Do you guys think that the devil just casually lets me expose his plans on the internet for potentially the whole wide world? Do you think he's casually just allowing that? I want to talk about this because, it's known, I guess, now in society that when you try to expose what's going on in the world, that the powerful people of the world don't want people to know. There's kind of like a 3-stage process that happens, right? Now, for me, one of my protections is that I'm not well known. I'm not known. You know what I'm saying? I have my humble little community over here. And honestly, I think that's part of the Lord's protection. We'll come back to that, right? But we know there's a 3-stage process. First of all, it's cancel crazy Coffin. That just came to me right now. Cancel crazy Coffin. First of all, stage 1, we'll cancel you. We'll cancel you. We'll see how you can handle that. That one usually works because people are, seeking the worship of other people, right? So if you're famous, you don't want to be cancelled. You don't want to lose the people giving you 100 million likes, aka 100 million dopamine hits a day. So you don't want to be cancelled. That doesn't work, and you keep going. Crazy, right? They'll say they'll diagnose you with multiple personality disorder or bipolar, right? They'll say you haven't been taking your meds. They'll say you need to go to the psychiatric ward. That's not working. Coffin. Cancel. Crazy. Coffin. You know what? The amount of intimidation tactics and just attacks I've experienced, the deeper I go with the Lord, I realized that it truly is comfortable to live as a coward. Cowardice is comfortable. Because if you're not a threat to the kingdom of darkness, if you're not standing up when there's things doing wrong, when the devil's bullies come around, you just submit. Albeit you may be living a low standard of life, albeit you may have to see some traumatizing things, but get in line, do what you're supposed to do, and you'll be fine. It kind of reminds me what I'm thinking about school and how schools are like prisons. And how like kids who, even in school alone, kids who go outside the grain, they might be intelligent. They might ask intelligent questions that teachers think is them being too smart, trying to be a smart ass, right? I love smart ass kids because they're the intelligent ones. They're the billionaires of tomorrow. If we actually, but anyway, I digress slightly, but also not completely, because my point is, the devil loves us to get comfortable in our cowardice. He loves us to live in fear. That's where Jesus came into it. Because when I realized, right, this is why I speak about the Lord. And I know that there's people in the world who, if they saw my videos, would think, she talks an unnecessarily amount about Jesus. She's trying to shove her belief system down their throats or whatever, my throat, whatever. Can I tell you that there's a simple reason why I worship Jesus and I speak about him above all else? It's very simple. Jesus defeated death. Death. The one thing that the devil the biggest thing that he's trying to do, and the biggest thing he's trying to get us to, everything the devil is doing is trying to get us there, either get power from us, right? Because God created us to be creatures of power. He breathed life into humanity. So that's why he's killing, and he needs to do rituals, and he needs the blood, and he needs this of us because we have the breath of God. We have the life of God in our bodies. So that's why he has to do all these killings, because he's trying to get as much as he can from us. I remember, right, when I was watching Seven Deadly Sins in January, and Seven Deadly Sins, I have to give it to my brother. He was the one who was like, he goes on about it a lot and has watched it, and he's one of me. To be honest, me and all my brothers, we're the story types. We're the ones who get into the story, look at the writing, what did the writer mean, watch the videos of the like in our own individual stories that we're all into, right? And there's a bit in there, right? And this is for me what I really feel like is like a spiritual image of what I see it goes on in the world. There was a bit where the 10 Commandments, right? So the 10 Commandments in Seven Deadly Sins are all these demons, right? So basically the demon king, he split all of his power. Gave half of his power. He put into these 10 commandments, these 10 different demons, half of all the power of the demon king, right? Who reigns in purgatory, aka hell. And so there's a part where they get released, right? And they are going around the world and they're trying to power up. So they're going to towns, they're terrorizing people. And what they're doing is they're getting them to sacrifice people so they can eat their souls, right? To power up, right? I love these anime people. The people who've written anime, if I need to learn Japanese or something, because I would love to interview these people to ask where these stories came from. And I know that it's a spiritual. I know that these guys know something. Like when I watch One Piece, Oda knows something. Oda knows something, and the way that One Piece ended, I was like, I knew he knew something. But anyway, not important. On a spiritual level, this is what I'm saying, right? So, they were like eating the souls of the people, and the people were intimidated, right? It's just like the world today. So the demons, all the different, not even just those demons, the other demons as well that were wreaking havoc, will go to the towns and they would have their local demon, right? Their local demon, which in this case, those bigger demons, is like a principality that the Bible talks about, right? And what would happen is the town would have to gather together. This is what I believe people were actually also doing, by the way, back in days when we see all these weird temples and these weird things, right? And so the demons would have their requests, like, I need 5 lives, right? And so the town would be like, we don't want to have to do this, we're scared, but we're gonna have to give up these 5 people. I believe that's exactly the world where it's like people live in such a state of fear that as much as people want to pretend and act like they would never, when it comes down to it, this is why I believe poverty, right, in a lot of places is what's driving people to this stuff. That's why I think in the West, our form of comfortable cowardice happens to include a job, and a job that we can at least have regularly, and a house, and be able to just about make it to tomorrow. So we're not quite thinking about sacrificing our kids, and we're not quite thinking. But in some places, and even in the West, they are. In other places in the world, I believe that's why people are being pushed, and the devil needs the souls, you know what I'm saying? And he needs the power. Jesus's power is infinite. Jesus's power is infinite above all else and defeats death itself. Death. The mistake everybody makes when they walk away from whatever they walk away from, right? Whether it's you walk away from the industry, you walk away from whatever deal you made with the devil, you don't just walk away. The second you walk away, you enter the 3 warnings of the devil. Cancel, crazy, coffin. If canceling doesn't make you run back, crazy better make you run back. If crazy doesn't make you run back, coffin. You see this happen every time, all the time. Cancel, crazy, coffin. So for me, that's why I'm like, I am a believer of Jesus Christ, and I need to announce it to the atmosphere, and I need to announce it to the demons. I need to announce it to the devil that you cannot have me. Because if I continue to speak the way that I am, like the way I've been getting intimidated, you guys, the way I get intimidated in my dreams and in person, in real life, you would not believe the things I go through behind the scenes. You would not believe the conversations I have to have behind the scenes about things like restraining orders and all sorts. I have to put my faith in God because I've watched the world. The world thinks somehow that, like, it's like what people think now. They think, oh, we're hoping that if we tell the police, and if we tell the police, that's why I'm so grateful to the Lord that I managed to have an opportunity to speak personally with the detective this year. Like, that's worked on some of these cases, like the stuff that I'm telling you guys about. And he told me himself, you know, that he's just accepted his job, that he can't do what really needs to be done, but he can do as much as he can. And he's the one who told me, he said, even when it comes to like issues with things like predators, he says the first thing he always files for them is a restraining order, because he knows the system and he knows that it may go to nothing. It may get something. If it does, it still might take however many years. Like, there's a lot of issues that people don't think about when it comes to this. And I'm telling you guys in the winning team, because I'm telling you that don't fall for the trap of, oh, I like this God thing and I want to, you know, speak up about whatever. I want to go against the grain, and not think that the devil's not going to come for you, because he most definitely will. Cancel crazy Coffin. For me, let me tell you, I wasn't cancelable, or maybe I've just been cancelled my whole life, and that's why, you know, I've had all the issues I've had with people. Maybe that's how that worked. That might make sense. But I don't have like a big enough platform to be cancelled online, but cancelled in real life for sure. Yeah, crazy. Even I'm the one who thinks I'm crazy. I think I'm the one I've had to just accept, like, look, I'm just going to trust that I'm not. I've had to say, I'm not going to I've told you guys, I'm not going to start over-analyzing my behaviors so that I can be diagnosed with something, so that as soon as I speak the truth, everybody goes, oh, she's having an episode. No, 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 no. That's actually why, despite my desire not, my disappointment in my existence, right? As in, why am I here in such a horrific society and world? I don't want to die. I don't, because I feel like the devil's won. Like, I'm petty. I'm petty now. Like, I'm petty. Like, I don't want to die, because then I feel like the devil's won. Then I feel like everything that's come against me has won. So I have to live. And boy, will I, because I have Jesus Christ on my side. And I just wanted to say that here. I had to say that. The devil will come for you. That's why I know why a lot of these people, even in the body of Christ, even these spiritual leaders I've been talking about, this is why I know why some of them were not able to do what I'm doing, because I'm paying the price. I'm paying the price. The price is cancelled by all the people that you love and isolated. Your very own relatives, your very own close friends, your own colleagues, your community. Cancelled. Crazy. Everyone just look. Do you know, I've become so used to people looking at me like this, with that facial expression, like this. I've become so used to it that now I'm numb. And you know what's funny? Then I was thinking about the fact that if you don't say something that's considered like societally comfortable, you're the oddball. Like, that's why I always find it fascinating, the concept of being opinionated, because I'm like, there's no such thing as being opinionated, because everybody has an opinion. It's just that maybe me being considered opinionated is because my opinion isn't the popular opinion. See what I'm saying? Some of us are an Alaskan salmon swimming against the current. You feel me? So, oh my gosh, and there was such a random part of one of my dreams last night, right? I don't know where I was, right, in my dream. Actually, tells such a lie. I know where I was. And I saw, I can't remember what I saw, but I saw a whole bunch of animals each trying to eat each other, right? And so it started off that there was a rabbit, and then the rabbit was trying to be eaten by oh my gosh, what's that animal oh my gosh, it's an animal that's in anyway, I don't know why I even started to think about that. Excuse me. What was I saying now? You see, I got distracted by these animals. And why did I start to think about the animals in the first place? Anyways, not important. The point being is, the devil will come for you. Crazy. There we go, the crazy thing. I'm so used to people thinking I'm crazy. And you know what I've had to realize? It's actually the world that's crazy. It's the gaslighting of Satan. It's the gaslighting of Satan. It's crazy that people will go to work, go to school, to go to work, to die. It's crazy that people will live, right, thinking only of the next 80 years or this little existence that could end in a split second. I could die right now, and you will live for that. And you will ignore and decide to deal later with eternity that's going to go on forever. That's crazy. That's crazy. It's crazy for us to all stand there going, I hope somebody will do something about this. I hope somebody will do this. If we're all saying, I hope somebody will do something about this, and no one's actually doing it, that's crazy. I've said to you guys before, right, that when it comes to winning, a lot of people overthink winning. A lot of times winning is just being the only person prepared to do it. As simple as that. Sometimes winning is just being, if there is a local marathon, you and no one else in your town signs up for that marathon except from you, you've automatically won. This used to happen to me. Do you know what happened to me at school, right? This is funny. I was really good at high jump, right? Even though I'm like 5'4", okay? I don't know how, because I'll be jumping like within this amount of my height, like, right? So I was really good at high jump at school, to the extent that by the end of year 11, no other girls even would apply to compete because they knew I was going to win. And the fact that nobody else, signed up, I just automatically won that year. I didn't even have to do anything. I think I did like one jump at like the base level. Automatic win. Like, this is what I'm saying about like life, and like it's crazy how people think. And again, the thing is about that as well is people thinking that was luck or whatever are crazy. Because you know who was practicing at lunchtime? Me. You know who used to go and practice by myself? There'll be nobody else there. Because I thought it was cool. When we did the initial like little, when you're like practicing all the different athletics and you're like seeing who's good at what and whatnot, what have you. And I was really good. It was the way that my coach, the way he reacted to the whole thing. Because I wasn't doing the frisbee flop. I was just doing like throwing my legs over, doing the quick scissor kick over the bar. You know what I'm saying? And so when we did it, he like jumped off of his seat and he was like, and he was holding his clipboard and he was like, no way, like this, And ever since then, it was his reaction that made me think, was that good? Like, did I do something good here? So then I practiced, right? I saw that there was something I may be good at, and then I doubled down. See what I'm saying? So when people are like, oh, she's just lucky, she's whatever, I'm like, you're crazy if you think that. Crazy. And this is what I'm saying. I realized that the devil was gaslighting me into thinking I was crazy. At the same time, that's why I've been fighting off death my entire life. Do you want to know something insane? When I was in Italy, do you know one of the things my friend just felt she needed to pray against for me? The spirit of death. The spirit of death. My friend was praying for me. It was praying deliverance for me from the spirit of death. And oh boy, has death knocked at my door the entirety of my existence. That's why for me, even just being alive, like, is like every day that I wake up and I'm still here, I'm like, whoa, wow, okay, I made it another day. Like, not just like, you know what I'm saying? So the significance of Jesus in the death portion is the most important, because that's the furthest. And that's one thing that I've learned in the last couple of years, everything that I've been through, even this year, is you can cancel me You can gaslight me and call me crazy, or convince others can think I'm crazy. You can do everything but take my life. That's what the story of Job in the Bible is about. People talk about this. I love how Christians talk about the story of Job while they be comfortable in their cowardice. I love how Christians love to talk about these names of Bible characters. Meanwhile, they don't have an ounce, not a crumb, not an electron. By the way, because electrons basically have no weight at all. They're like basically weightless. Basically weightless. They don't have an electron of what these people have to put up with. And God says to Job, you can take says to the devil, you can take anything but his life. And what happens to Job? I haven't even read fully the story of Job because I feel like it's going to be a painful read. It's going to be one of those that I'm going to read it over like a weekend and I'm going to be wailing in tears the whole time. I just know it. I just know. You know what I'm saying? Right? He lost everything. He was being mocked about, oh, is this the God that you serve? Look at the state of your life. You're losing everything. It doesn't really look like the glory of God is on you. I've experienced that. I know there's some people who are looking at me like, doesn't really look like this God that you believe in is really there. And I'm like, okay, let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens when we get to the finish line. Because that's what matters. That's what matters. Let's see. Oh, and boy, can I not wait for that checkmate. And to be honest with you, I'll tell you one of my dreams that I have. I want a Dougie to the devil on Judgment Day. When the Lord is talking about how I went against this and I went against that and I exposed this, I want to do all these TikTok dances I want to do on Judgment Day. Seriously, I'm not joking. I'm really not joking. I want to do all these TikTok dances, you know, all the cringe ones? Yeah, I want to be doing all of that, right, on Judgment Day because you know why I can say that? Because I'm not trusting in myself, in my human understanding. I'm not trusting in my human self, who is still a coward in some areas and has to keep pushing, right? That's why the devil was dingle-dangling. Like, I'm starting to... You see the thing about the devil? Because he is trying to catch you out and catch you off guard and tempt you to destroy what the Lord is doing and everything, I've started to realize things about myself based on the specific ways he tries to attack me. Because I'm like, wait, if that's your attack approach, that's the thing I need to work on. Because, okay, so that's my problem. Got it. Because you keep trying to attack me with this. So that's the thing that's keeping me silent. So that's the thing that's keeping me a coward. Okay. But the thing about it, guys, it's not easy. That's what I was saying about Job. It's not easy. It's not easy. It is a 24/7. And I say 24/7 because I said whether I'm asleep or whether I'm awake, I need the protection of the Lord. Whether I'm asleep, whether I'm awake, the devil is coming for me. Right? And that's why I know the grace of God is real. That's why I know the power of Christ is real. Because I'm saying some of the stuff that I'm saying and I'm doing some of the things that I'm doing. And I'm pretty much just getting on with my life. That's unheard of. I should be losing my mind. Right? Because a lot of people do. A lot of people lose their mind before they even get anywhere. A lot of people give in at the cancel bit because they don't want to lose the relationships they have with their family, lose the relationships they have with their friends, lose their relationships with whatever. They're intimidated by the loss of their job. This is the thing. I don't care. Listen, when I started YouTube, I told myself YouTube and what I want to say is going to be above whatever else I'm doing, like my job, whatever. If they fire me and they're like, oh, we got your YouTube, fire me. The Lord is a provider. You think I'm worried about how I'm going to make money? The Lord will provide. And boy, does he. The Lord be providing in just these crazy ways for things. That's why when I'm not want to do something or know I'm supposed to do something, I don't think about if I have the money. I think about if I'm where God wants me to be for that thing to happen, and then I trust for it to happen with the Lord. And then if it hasn't happened when I want it to happen, it means that's not the time that the Lord wanted it to happen yet. In which case I got to be patient, which is not always great, which is also not easy. Because then people look at you crazy. Again. Because it's like, well, you said you were going to do this. And I was like, I am going to do that. And it's like, well, you said you were going to do this. I am going to do that. When? You said you were going to do this then. Yeah, I was going to do that then, but then you didn't. I'm like, I know. Listen, I'm working with the Lord. It's his timing. Doesn't make sense to everybody else. It's crazy to you. What I think is crazy is to trust in a world and a government that consistently works against you, that consistently makes decisions against you. Like, I find it so funny how people say, like, why would this politician say that and do that? They didn't think about how that would make the public feel, because now this is going to affect us negatively. I'm like, they know exactly what they're doing. They just know that you think you trust in them and you think there's an ounce of good. I'm not trying to negotiate with the world. I'm not trying to negotiate with no government. I'm not trying to negotiate with no Hollywood. I'm not trying to negotiate with no pharmaceutical industry. I'm not trying to negotiate with the education system. I'm trying to bulldoze them. I'm trying to bulldoze them, and I'm trying to create something different. We'll do what we're doing. It's crazy to think. I had a conversation with a guy that works in the government, who's also worked with the Department for Education in the government. And I was telling him about my thoughts of the education system, whatever. And you know what he said? Do you know what he said? He's like, yeah, they'll never listen to you. Even though you've got the right ideas, it's not going to happen. I was like, I know. That's why I'm going to go do what I'm doing over there. And then when everybody comes over to what I'm doing, then they're going to have to listen. I already know. It's crazy that people think, oh, it'll be so good for you to go. No, I knew it before he told me. I was like, I know. And this is somebody who's there, who knows, because they're there. I know. It's crazy that you guys think that, oh, we're going to go and we're going to you know, what's the word? Riot for this and speak up for that and da-da-da-da-da. Great. Go ahead. And then they'll take down whoever you're upset with now, put in somebody new who tells you what to hear, do what they were doing anyways in a new way where it's hidden, better, because all you're doing is because they're like scientists. The devil is like a great scientist, right? He's good at experiments. And this is what I think to do with the fall of Noah and all of this, what I think partially happened. The devil realized, okay, we did all of this stuff and his kingdom. Okay, so we did all of this stuff. There was giants. There was, you know, so many supernatural things happening. It was normalized amongst the humanity. Henceforth, why we don't know anything about any of that. We don't believe in it. We were taught this is all myths and legends. This is all whatever, right? This is all make-believe, aliens, whatever. These things didn't exist. We're crazy enough to see the proof, to see giant footsteps, to see pyramids built and all these things done with technology that we don't even have yet, but we're crazy enough to still think that it can't have been, that there was actually creatures and things that were actually like that existed. We're the crazy ones, or so I should say, the world is the crazy ones. So he realized after that, he was like, okay, you know what? You see what I'm saying now? You see, I've been making these videos and then the devil, but the Lord is protecting me, so it's all good, right? Listen, I can't wait to meet God. I can't wait, like, to finally get to be with him in eternity. I cannot wait to experience what it's like to be in the presence, in the fullness of the presence of the one true living God. I can't wait. I cannot possibly wait for that day. I can't wait, you know, and every day that's the thing that I think about more than anything. That's the dream. You know what I mean? I'll do what the Lord needs me to do now, but I cannot wait to meet him, like in his fullness. Like, obviously I know him now and he's just so good. Like, he's just so good. I just can't wait to meet him and be in his presence and be in his fullness. And I just can't wait, right? Anyway, sorry. I was just thinking about it because, you know, when I think about the Lord, I feel warm and fuzzily and I feel calm. Anyways, so what was I saying? Yeah. So he realized that next time when I'm going to do what I'm doing, I need to do it as hidden as possible. Hence why nowadays, all the stuff that's been hidden, all the history, the things that people are trying to look into, all this, that, and the other, he's had to rewrite it all. And explain it. These are myths and legends. I'm going to take all those stories, make them into stories, make them into make-believe, turn it into entertainment. And hence we have Disney. We have witches and warlocks. We have giant. I remember, I'll never forget the movie Gulliver's Travels, because I always used to think as a kid, what if this was real? And I didn't even like the show. Like, it wasn't very, I don't know. The one that I watched, and it's the one where they've got the giants. Jack and the Beanstalk, right? Jack and the Beanstalk. There's a really good Jack and the Beanstalk movie. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called Jack, if I'm not mistaken, and it's really good. All these different things. It's all make-believe. It's all make-believe, right? Magic comes with a price. It's all make-believe. Magic comes with a price. Magic comes with a price. The price is your soul. Selling your soul, your eternity. Magic comes with a price. Yeah. So I think it's crazy. And this is the funny thing. I know that everybody is having or has had at least some type of spiritual experience that they're just ignoring. And that's what's crazy for me. That's what's crazy. I know that deep down, people know what I'm saying is true. I'm as true as it gets, to be honest, because that's all I know. Realistically speaking, you know what I mean? I'm not always right. I'm lacking in a lot of knowledge and wisdom still. But what I can say is I am authentic and I speak the truth. And if I'm not prepared to speak the truth about something, I don't speak. Or I'll just say I don't want to say it. But I will be honest. That's one thing I've decided with people, especially in building relationships. I think it's so important to be honest. To build, because otherwise if your relationships are not built off of honesty, if you have a friendship that's not built off of honesty, if you have, whatever, you don't have anything. Because anything is anything. I can put on whatever mask I want to put on whatever day. I can play whatever character I want to play. I've been thinking recently about how, as a kid, it was always my dream. It was always my dream to be on stage as a kid, right? I wanted to be an actress. As I'm growing older, I've realized that the reason why I have no interest in acting is because I don't want to pretend to be anything other than myself. And I know I could immerse myself in another character, but I don't want to. That seems like a lot of effort. It seems like a lot of effort to immerse myself in another character, but that's not even what the video is about, right? Kind of actually, though, it is. Because again, it comes down to cowardice and comfort. The cowardly option is to play somebody else sometimes. I'm not saying to actors. Actors are incredible what they do. Acting is an incredible field. I'm all in favor of acting. Don't get me wrong. I just want to be very clear. I'm just saying the concept of in society acting, like the people when they wake up. Because I really feel like, to me, us and how we live our lives, right? It's like like how in the Bee movie, he's like, what does he say? He goes black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. Ooh, yellow and black, like to dress up in his bee costume. That's us. We wake up, we wear our costume. We're cosplaying. Oh, I'm a this, I'm a that. You put on your scrubs if you're a nurse, right? You put on your uniform for whatever store you work at. The kids in this country put their uniform on to go to school. We put on these costumes, right? We take our drugs, coffee, food, whatever thing is, whatever. You go off and then you go and you play a character. Do you know that it's actually very new in history that people are valued based on what they do to make money? Value never used to come off of the status of your job. Your job, no one cared about what you did as long as you were putting food on the table. So whether you were a brain surgeon or whether you were an influencer, whether you were a carpenter or whether you worked in the supermarket, whether you were a barrister, you know what I'm saying? Whether you collected the bins, that wasn't important. This is a new school thing. It's a new school thing to value people off of the job they do. And again, it's another trap of the devil. The devil's always trying to find ways to get us to have an identity in something, right? Because our true identity is supposed to be in Christ. We'll put on our costumes, we all go out there, we play the character, we follow the rules, we follow the script of the societal script, or whatever the societal script is. And if you go outside the societal script, guess what? You're going to be called crazy. If you don't follow the societal script, guess what? You're going to get cancelled. If you don't follow the societal script written by the devil, Coffin. That's how it works, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to leave that there. Jesus defeated death. Death has no hold over me. I can lose everything in this world. I can lose everyone. I can lose whatever. I've lost many things. I've lost virtually everything. I'm starting from complete scratch, which is terrifying, by the way. Horrifying. That's what I'm saying. This is not for the weak. It's not for the weak. But you know what the Bible says? When you are weak, then I am strong. That's what Jesus says. Christ's power. The Bible says Christ's power is made perfect in our weakness. The only way out of this, the only way into the other side, into the winning side, is through Christ. That's the only way. That's why it's called the narrow path. Because it's narrow. There's one way. According to the world, there's 100,000 ways to do whatever happens here. Of course there is. With Christ, one way. One way leads. And that's why the Bible says in John 14:6, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. The way. Just wanted to leave that with you all. What was it? Cancel. Crazy. I can't believe that just popped in my head at the start of the video. Coffin. That's what the devil does. That's what the price you pay. That's what I'm saying. It's a battle. It is a fight. It is a war. And the fact that people are so scared of war, I'm like, that's because you're not a warrior. You haven't realized that or being a warrior isn't an option. Anyways, if life's a game, it's pay to win. God bless you all. God loves you. I love you. And I'll see you in my next one. Goodbye.